All right, good evening, everyone, and thank you to everyone who's here joining us today. My name is Lisa Partida with Home Again LA, and tonight we have our final session of the month of July, July 30th. Today we have the final session for the First Time Homebuyers series, which is Understanding the Closing Process, presented by Operation Hope. So we have our presenter, Isabel Duran, whom I'll pass it along to now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, we finally came to this section, the last part, and congratulations for staying on track. So what happened? So you have found a house, you have made an offer with the salesman, with the seller. The seller accepted your offer and you sat down with your agent and the seller's agent. Went over your contract, made sure that all the information about you, about what you're going to do, about the amount of loan that you're getting, about the timing. We went over the appraisal and the home inspection, and we went over certain where your house that you're buying is. So now we're going to be part of escrow. Escrow is a neutral company that works for the seller and the buyer. And I'm sure that they've made a call to you to find out what the property insurance is going to give you. They want a copy of the policy. And I think they called you so you can come in and sign some documents. And then they're letting you know the process of where that loan is, because she or he at the escrow company will hire a notary public who will come to your house or your office, wherever you want, and have you sign your loan documents. So we're going to start with the closing process. So learning about the closing process to alleviate anxiety, because you're probably anxious to move in and you still can't move in. Closing a real estate transaction will rarely be without its moments of anxiety. You're anxious to move in. However, buyers and sellers can reduce some of their concerns by learning about each phase of the process. This will help you reduce worries and help with a smoother closing. So the escrow, we're going to talk about the company. The seller chooses title company and the escrow company. And so the seller typically pays for the escrow fee and the owner's title policy. Buyer can be in breach of contract if buyer fails to close escrow at a date indicated. We had talked about dates in the contract, and this is what they're talking about. Closing possession to be delivered vacant. This means that if you find a house that you want to buy and you understand that there's rentals in there in the house, and you talk to the seller to find out how soon those rentals will be vacated. They're going to move out how soon, so that way you can come in and do a final walkthrough and be able to move in. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes there's no rentals, but it's just something that you have to think about in case you find a house with rentals. Arrival of loan documents. So we're going to talk about that in a couple of slides. Signing loan documents, funding, and closing escrow. So more or less, these are the steps, the last steps that you will take. Okay, escrow services. It serves as a neutral third party working to benefit the entire transaction and the parties involved. Processes and coordinates the entire real estate and mortgage closing procedure. Escrow gathers documents, contract, deed, title, instructions, loan documents, and title insurance. handles all funds and transaction, deposits, down payment, closing costs, loan fund disbursement from proceeds to seller, and commission to realtors. The commission to realtors has changed quite a bit over the last 2 months. And I understand that now, whenever a buyer or, a buyer is looking for a house and finds an agent to help them, it's advised that you sign a contract with the agent, real estate agent or broker, and then you must understand that between you and the salesman, the agent, you need to come to an agreement of how much of a commission you're going to pay them. So it's a little different this time. All right. So also, escrow will order a preliminary title report, and it's ordered. Title report is a report of the property that you are intending to buy. And they review and investigate the history of the house and the title. The title is like a pink slip. It says who's the owner of this property. So they open up the title report to make sure everything is clear. There's nothing left over from previous owners, and no debt is left from previous owners. So they do a preliminary title report, and a real estate title states who has ownership of real property and the right to sell. So always be aware that they will show you that too. It also verifies any deeds, mortgages, wills, easement rights, or any liens against property. I don't know if you understand what easement rights are. Sometimes you will find a house that you're going to love, and it's right next to a driveway that's not to your house, but it's to the block. And usually the city or the county is the owner of that driveway, and they have an easement rights. In other words, they may come over a little bit over your property to have easement rights. They have rights to drive right next to your house instead of putting a fence there. They want that driveway all the way through the next block because that's what they work with. So these are things that they will let you know if that happens to be there in your property. And also, if there's any liens against the property, liens are orders of a debt that belongs to the property, that is put on the property because let's say a long time ago, the owner contracted a roofer, and the roofer put a lien on the property to make sure that if the owner didn't finish paying all the work, then the lien will help them get the money. So if there's a lien on the property, it has to be paid before it's turned over to you. So there's quite a few of information. There's quite a few people involved, and they start talking to the previous lender and you and the contractor to come to an agreement of how much they can pay them to get the lien off the property. Okay, because what title wants to do is deliver a clean lien to you. So that means that you're going to have a pink slip that says you are the owner and there's nothing left to pay. It's clean, nothing to owe, no other people asking for this. So then you'll also receive instructions for resolving liens, recording documents, and any other requirements of the buyer's lender. Okay, so we take, it's really interesting how different companies are involved in helping you have a clean delivery of a house that you want to buy. It's very nice. Insurance is an agreement to indemnify against damage or loss from a defect in title as evidenced by policy of title insurance to real property. Every now and then, I want to see, I think it was about 5 years ago, I helped a client who had a lien on his second loan, and it was quite interesting to find out who was the original owner and how it came out. And I thought I would never see these kinds of liens on title, but it does happen when there's a mistake. And the mistake was partly the bank and partly the title company. And they were able to come to an agreement, took out the lien, and the client was so happy because he was just sweating so much because they were charging him for the second loan that which he already paid. So those things can happen. Okay, there can be unforeseen defects in real estate title even after a thorough title search has been done. If the buyer is borrowing the funds from the lender, title insurance is always required. If the buyer is not borrowing from a lender, it is still highly recommended that the buyer invest in title insurance. So that means that if you're applying for a loan from a bank, you have to have insurance, title insurance. If you're paying with cash, it's highly suggested you get a title insurance on that property. Okay. Title insurance protects buyers and lenders from unexpected issues that can arise after the property has been purchased. The policy will cover legal fees associated with the defense of the buyer's right to title or with a challenge to the ownership of property. Title insurance will also defend a lender's lien on the property and will reimburse them for losses incurred if the challenger's rights are upheld. Home insurance protects buyers from unexpected issues that can arise from the property that has been purchased. The home insurance will cover fire, theft, vandalism, lighting, and liability. Home insurance can protect you from liability claims like losses. Home coverages include personal property, medical payments, loss of rents, separate structures, pools, and solar panels. Okay. Hazard and fire insurance, dwelling and extended replacement, building ordinance or law coverage, condo and townhomes, HOAs and loss assessment. When doing a home inspection, check the HVAC, the roof, plumbing, and electrical. Possible discounts. Water claims, always have a licensed contractor or water restoration company. Okay, a lot of things to look at. When do you do rehab work? I'm sorry, when you do rehab work or add square footage to the house, update your home policy. Home warranty is not the same as hazard insurance. Home warranty covers appliances and some water damage. Make sure it includes roof coverages. Usually the seller will cover the home warranty, or you can ask your real estate agent if they can get that for you. Okay, so I find this very important because we're talking about title, ownership of your house. So it's important to make sure you have an agreement with your family as to how you want to own the title of the house. Maybe it's not the same people that will be on the loan, but this is about title, ownership of house. So there's different ways to hold ownership. You could be a single individual. You could be a married man or a single man or a woman and a single woman as her sole and separate property. Or you can be in community property with rights of survivorship. You're legally married. And joint tenancy. This is usually used for with married couples. So married couples will sign the title as a joint tenancy, which means that both of them hold the same value of ownership. So in case of death of one partner, the other partner will then hold estate under the original transfer. That's what happened to my parents. My father died first, and we didn't have to go through probate or any kind of, any kind of meeting with the government or the city or anybody. It's just my mom took over and she owned the house. We do recommend family trust because it's a lot better than last will and testament. If you have a last will and testament and your mother or father died, then probate will come in and start investigating all the heirs to the house. And they will constantly investigate and study. And then it charge you quite a bit of money. With a family trust, you actually put the house in the name of the family, and you put a beneficiary, an executor. Maybe you have several brothers and sisters, so you have several beneficiaries. And if one of the persons dies, it goes to the next person, and there's no probate, no extra cost. So that's why we're recommending family trust. Tenancy in common. This is when you have an interest of each individual or entity may or may not be stated. It may not be equal. So in other words, if you have a partnership or you have friends that are wanting to buy a house as an investment, then you divide the property by the number of people. Let's say there's 4 people who can put money down and be able to buy this house and be part of the ownership of the house. So each one will have 25%. Of course, you have to do a written agreement as to who will be the owner, what percentage, and then if in the future you want to share your part or sell your part, you have to have a meeting and agreement. Very much like if I was trying to invest in a house with Lisa and Rosa and Daniel, we all got together and put in, $250. Then we have enough money to put down payment on a house we want to look at. And then we're going to rent the house so we can earn some money. How's that, Lisa? So we sign an agreement, personal agreement. Each one will have a share. And then on title will be tenancy in common. Okay, that's what I wanted to get over. Because sometimes I talk to people who weren't prepared for a death in the family, don't know what to do with a house. So this is something that you need to talk to with your family or whoever's going to be involved in case something happens, who's going to take care of everything. Okay. Okay. No, is the notary required at closing? The answer is yes. For documents such as affidavits, deeds, and power of attorney. A notary is a government-appointed public servant who is authorized to witness the signing of important documents and administer oaths. Certified individuals are vested with this authority to deter fraud, such as forgery, and to ensure that documents are properly executed. The notary identifies signers and also makes certain that signers are entering into agreements with a full understanding of what is taking place, are willingly taking the action. So they make sure you understand what you're signing. You're signing your loan documents and all the other documents that are included. Okay. All right. So this is a sample of closing costs. So once you get your loan and moved in, you will be billed with closing costs, escrow and notary fees. It's usually the closing cost is 2 to 5% of the purchase price. It says here real estate commission. That's not part of the closing cost anymore. It's a separate agreement between you and the real estate agent. There's title insurance, document preparation fee, recording charges, all new loan charges, tax proration charges, natural hazard disclosure reports, any judgments, delinquent taxes, tax liens, county transfer tax, and city transfer tax. All right. So who pays what? Well, surprisingly, it is not uniform. Usually this agreement is based on the customary practice in your area. Who pays for closing costs can be used as a negotiating tool. In a non-competitive situation, a buyer may have a better opportunity to request the seller to pay for all closing costs, typically up to 3% max. No harm in asking, can you help us? Escrow timeline. Typically, it's 30 to 45 days, conventional sales, but short sales can take up to 3 to 6 months. Short sales is when a couple or a family can't make the mortgage payments anymore, and they decided to sell the house quickly so the profit from the sale of the house pays off the mortgage, so they won't be left with any liability or having to pay anything. But that takes 3 to 6 months. Buyers must have hazards home insurance prior to closing. Schedule for all utilities, electricity, gas, phone, water, garbage, cable. Buyers to complete final inspection 24 to 48 hours after signing loan docs for the loan to fund. Funds from the lender are wired into escrow. 24 hours after funding to record title under new buyer's name with the county recorder's office. So once the messenger calls escrow and says, okay, we've registered the title and the loan documents, that's when the escrow company calls the real estate agent and tells them to pick up the keys to give it to you, the seller, the buyer. The final walkthrough inspection is your absolute last chance to make sure everything is in working condition or is as presented to the contract. If it's not, you can still raise an issue or even back out of the deal. If you use your final walkthrough to thoroughly inspect your future home, you might just avoid costly repairs or extra work on your part further down the road. You have any time from a few hours to 5 days before the closing to perform your inspection to assure the house is in the condition that you agreed upon when signing the contract to purchase the home. One of the things I need to mention right now is that when you applied for the mortgage way back when, the mortgage company asked for all your papers, your income papers, your tax returns. They pull your credit report to make sure you have, the right score. They look at your debt, and they will pull your credit report just before they send the documents to register. Okay, they want to make sure that nothing has changed with your credit score. You haven't gotten into more debt. So at this point, try not to use anything credit. If you have credit cards you're paying, pay as usual. Make sure you pay on time, pay as usual. Do not get a new credit card. Do not get new credit. Do not go to any furniture stores and buy furniture. Wait till you move into your house and everything's done. Then you can open up credit. Then you can buy furniture. But we highly suggest you be careful going over your budget. Okay, after loan execution, signing loan documents and funding has happened, the escrow office will have title deed recorded in the county recorder's office. Once that has happened, you will be the legal homeowner of the property. Your realtor will confirm recording on title with you and provide you your keys. There's the key. Congratulations. Okay, so what do you do now? Well, okay, so now that you haven't used any credit, you have some credit waiting for you, right? So move in, get yourself comfortable. Once you purchase your new home, it's prudent to save and organize all documentation, maintain your home, have regular seasonal home checkups, make mortgage payments on time, incur no additional debt. Really control yourselves. I know you want to buy new furniture, all kinds of stuff in the kitchen, but do it little bit by little bit so you can handle your budget. Successful homeownership does not begin and end when closing the documents you sign. Successful homeownership means being able to enjoy the comfort, security, and financial rewards that buying a home can offer for as long as you choose to stay in the property. And that is so true, so true. Okay, record keeping. Got to get organized. Loan documents, deed, home insurance, warranties, tax returns, wills. You need to find a drawer where you can put these documents and you can remember that in a few years you may want to do something and you need to pull some of these documents. You want to make sure you know where you put them and how you organize them. And much more that is important and related to your peace of mind and the preservation of your home ownership. Maintaining your house. Take care of your house. It will take care of you. Timely maintenance will avoid larger expenses. Keeping up with maintenance will enhance the value of your property in case you are looking to sell. Maintaining your house will enhance your neighbor's value as well. Maintenance cycle of a home. Home improvement, preventive maintenance, repair or replace. Maybe in the future you want to do something with your house. You're looking at the bathroom. Oh, I want another bathroom. So if you're looking to redo the bathroom, the kitchen, maybe the patio, you want to make sure who you talk to. You're going to get a contractor. Get 3 bids from 3 contractors. And then ask the contractor, can you refer me to some of your clients? I want to see what kind of work you do. I want to talk to them and ask them, do you come on time or do you come late? You want to get to know what, to prepare yourself to make sure that, you're comfortable with the contractor and that the amount is something that you can handle. Preventive maintenance. So when you need an expert for the job, create a seasonal checklist and be prepared to do work. Some of the do-it-yourself tools you should own. Step ladder, flashlight, hammer, handsaw, desk mask, tape measure, standard screwdriver, work gloves, wrench, locking pliers. I highly suggest step ladder because every now and then you have to change the light bulb. And of course, the hammer is going to help you put a nail in the wall so you could put pictures of yourselves up on the wall. That's fun. Remodeling or making repairs. Spend your improvement dollars strategically. Best improvements will depend on what other homes in your neighborhood offer. Don't over improve. Updating kitchen, appliances, bathrooms are considered appealing and tend to give you a good return. Be aware of costs and the impact on your budget. Keep all receipts for the improvement until you sell the house. Choose projects that will be universally appealing to future buyers. Some improvements, like a swimming pool, may return less than they cost you. Okay? When deciding to start a remodeling project or replacing an item, consider energy conservation measures. Check for insulation. Check window cells, weather stripping and caulking, attic ventilation. Home appliances can be a major contributor to your energy efficient plan. Be careful for those robocalls. I get a lot of calls every day and they want to help me get insulation energy conservation. They want me to do all kinds of constructions, and I just say, no, I'm not ready. So just be careful because there's constant people looking for work and also looking for money. So be careful. Making timely payments begins with purchasing the right property for you and your family at a fair price, borrowing only the amount you can comfortably afford to repay, choosing the right mortgage and understanding all the terms of your loan agreement. Delinquency will hurt your credit. Lender can and will foreclose. Please, 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 if you feel in the future that there's going to be a problem making a mortgage payment, please call me. I can help you find options and help you talk to the lender because we just don't want you to lose your house, okay? And I say we, me, the bank, the government, the lender, we all want you to keep your house. If you can't make payments, call your lender immediately. Do not avoid lender calls. Do not move out of your house. What caused your inability to make payments? What have you done to resolve the issues? What do you want the lender to do? How committed are you? Okay, I can help you. Throughout the process, keep notes of all communications. Avoid making verbal agreements. Make only promises you are absolutely able to keep. Meet all deadlines given by the lender. Last thing, red flags. Please be aware of people who may not sound honest. If they come up with excessive interest rates, we know the interest rates are somewhere around 6%, 7%, and excessive fees. You can call the bank and ask how much it costs to apply for a mortgage. They will let you know what the fees are. Nothing excessive. High pressure sales tactics. You may come across, maybe you're talking to a neighbor and the neighbor brings a friend over who says they can help you find a lender. All you have to do is give them $500. There's no such thing, okay? You do not pay anybody when you're looking for a house. You don't pay anybody. The only time you pay is when they're asking for when you're ready to put an offer on the house. But other than that, don't give anybody any money. Maybe escrow when it comes time, but not right now. To be in the what do we had in 2008? The I forget what it's called. No, when we had a bad income time, we had a really hard time. What did you call it? It's not the COVID. It was
a
like
depression,
COVID.
right?
Depression, yeah.
Yeah.
We had a depression. A lot of people lost their houses. But a lot of the lenders were giving out loans like crazy, and one of them was a balloon payment. So you would pay maybe a little bit of interest in the beginning, and then after 6 months, they would charge you for a balloon payment. And many people could not pay, they lost their homes. So they don't do that anymore. The government forbid that. But oh, I don't understand fraud, how it lives forever. Be careful. Ask questions who you're talking to. Ask them for their business card. Ask them for the license. People who give out loans have to be licensed. Real estate agents have to be licensed. Escrow has all kinds of licenses. So if you don't feel comfortable, ask to see the license. And if they curse you, I had a client who was looking for loans and called a few lenders. And as he's talking to them, he felt uncomfortable. He says, "Hey, can I see your license?" And they got so angry, they cursed him out. So he hung up on them. I says, "Well, I guess it's not who you want." You know how awful, someone cursing you. That's terrible. So it's a good way to find out the good and the bad. Anyway, just be careful. Now, these are some methods used by predatory lenders. Deceptive advertising, inflating income, inflated appraisals. Don't rob the piggy bank, teaser rates, bait and switch. A lot of tricks, okay? Ask questions. You have the right to ask questions. Don't fall for that. If you are a victim of predatory lending, we have various organizations that can help you. We have Federal Trade Commission, Better Business Bureau, Attorney General. We have Department of Real Estate, contact an attorney, contact Department of Corporations. We also have the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. They are great to help you. Okay, they're always monitoring businesses and bad businesses. Okay, any questions?
Not at this time.
Okay, well, thank you for all your time. Thank you for learning about how to buy a house. I hope you feel good that now you know what it takes to buy a house. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Isabel. So just so you're aware, for those that have been consistent in attending, we will be submitting a request to Isabel for her to issue you a certificate of completion, and you should be getting that within a couple of days or maybe a week or so. And then also just be on the lookout. Next month we are providing a couple of new workshops from Operation Hope, one of them being starting your small business. So for those of you who are interested in learning about how Operation Hope can help you with that, I encourage you guys to attend. That one's going to take place on August 13th. And then the second session that we have is for credit and money management, scheduled for August 20th. And then we're going to go over some down payment assistance programs on August 27th. But yeah, be on the lookout. You guys always receive my emails. So thank you for checking them, and thank you for attending, and thank you all for your time. And we'll see you guys next time.
Yay.
Thank you, Isabel.
You bet. You bet.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. Take
All right.
care of
Bye-bye.
yourself.
You too. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.